The year is 2006, Sega just released probably their biggest failure yet, Sonic 06. Sega were like, oh shit, what are we gonna do now? They knew the next big Sonic game had to have a ton of effort put into it. They had to regain the trust of the community. Fast forward 2 years later, it is now 2008 and the newest Sonic game is on the way. The Sonic community were very worried about how the game would turn out after last time. On November 18, 2008, peak gaming arrived. At the beginning of the story, Sonic the Hedgehog is confronting his nemesis, Dr. Eggman, aboard his flagship. Eggman then activated the ship's defense systems, activating the cannons and bringing forth a horde of 8 fighters. After seeing the obstacles, Sonic boosted forward and began dodging the batteries fired from the cannons. Bounding across the flagship, Eggman brought forth his mech and unleashed a flurry of machine gun fire. After running across the ceiling while dodging missiles, Sonic ran through the flagship's hallway. Eggman fired his mech's grappling hook-like arm and grabbed Sonic. After being pulled to Eggman in the mech's grasp, Sonic summoned the Chaos Emeralds from within himself and became Super Sonic in order to stop him, destroying Eggman's mech. Eggman fled in his Eggmobile and fled from his flagship. After chasing Eggman through space and destroying half of his fleet, they finally arrived at Eggman's research facility and knocking Eggman himself to the ground. As a trap, Eggman pretends to plead for mercy. When Sonic is close enough, he activates the Chaos Energy Cannon, which traps Sonic in the center and begins drawing the Chaos Energy out of Sonic and the Emeralds in a fashion that is clearly extremely painful for him. After the weapon is charged, Eggman fires a laser at the Earth to wake a monster known as Dark Gaia, splitting the planet. The dark energy of the Emeralds is brought out by the ray, transforming Sonic into a monstrous version of himself and rendering the Chaos Emeralds gray and powerless. Eggman then opens an airlock which sucks Sonic and the drained Emeralds out into space and down to Earth. While Sonic is saved from a fatal landing due to an unknown energy source, he still ends up taking a heavy fall. After pulling himself out of the dirt, Sonic encounters a lingam-like creature. Sonic then asks the creature what his name was and the creature couldn't remember his own name or history, which Sonic thinks he landed on him, causing the memory loss. Sonic agrees to help the creature restore his memory during their journey. After exploring the city of Apodos, Sonic names the creature Chip and the two run into Tails at night. Tails immediately recognizes Sonic even though he is in his werehog form and reveals that Professor Pickle of Spagolnia University may be able to help them on their adventure. Once they reach Spagolnia, they discover Dr. Eggman has kidnapped Professor Pickle for his knowledge on Dark Gaia. After traveling to Missouri and freeing him, Professor Pickle explains the nature of Dark Gaia and reveals that restoring power to the Chaos Emeralds via the Gaia Temples would help the planet return to normal. Sonic then sets out to the 7 Gaia Temples to restore the Emeralds and reassemble the planet. In Spagonia, Sonic and Chip run into Amy at night, who doesn't recognize Sonic in his werehog form. He later saves Amy from Dark Gaia's influence and she, upon learning her savior's identity, decides to help Sonic and Professor Pickle. All the while, Dr. Eggman makes plans to reassemble Dark Gaia and finish Eggmanland. During the restoration of the 6th Chaos Emerald and continent, it's revealed that Chip is in fact Light Gaia, the opposite of Dark Gaia, and he lost his memories because, like Dark Gaia, he was prematurely awakened by Eggman's laser when Eggman started the Time of Awakening, where Chip and Dark Gaia was meant to awaken, too early. Likewise, Dark Gaia has not yet been fully reborn due to his premature awakening, and Sonic must stop Eggman before Dark Gaia's full powers return to its normal state. At this point, Sonic travels to the location of the last temple, over which Eggman has built Eggmanland using an extraction of Dark Gaia's power. While Sonic is able to restore the last emerald and defeat Eggman's newest mech, Dark Gaia becomes complete by draining the dark energy that Sonic had that turned him into a werehog, knocking Dr. Eggman out of the way to keep the power for itself. Sonic is too weak to move, so Chip uses the Gaia Temples to form a body called Gaia Colossus to combat Dark Gaia with. Sonic recovers on the Gaia Colossus and helps Chip fight Dark Gaia. Chip and Sonic hold off the beast, but Dark Gaia manages to drown the planet in darkness, achieving its fully matured form in the process. Sonic then transforms into Super Sonic using the 7 Chaos Emeralds and takes perfect Dark Gaia down with the help of Gaia Colossus, but the battle leaves him too drained of his energy to escape. As the final continent moves back into place, Chip flings Sonic back onto the surface while he remains behind. After Sonic wakes up, Chip's necklace and some parting words are found on the ground. Sonic then picks it up and puts on the necklace as a bracelet to remind them of their adventures together. The game ends as Sonic runs off with Tails, who is in the tornado, to another adventure. Sonic Unleashed brought the boost, which was previously in Sonic Rush, and put it in a 3D environment. The boost was a great way to represent a sense of speed throughout the stages. The boost stages in this game typically take 4 to 6 minutes to beat on average, unless you suck at the game, then it can take 10 minutes or longer. The home and attack in this game is on the X button or the square button on PlayStation. This is the exact same button as the boost. This is a living nightmare. This leads to so many deaths. It's very annoying. Sonic Frontiers is bringing back the home and attack on the X button, but here it's fine because the boost is on the right trigger. Less likely to die. The music during these stages go hard. Really hard. The drifting in this game is very difficult to control, but after a while you manage to get the hang of it. Each of the stages take place in a different continent. Windmill Isle is in Apodos and the next stage is Savannah Citadel, which is in Missouri. These two continents are halfway across the world from each other. Each continent in this game are based off of real-world places. Apodos is Greece, Missouri is Mali, Empire City is New York, Adaba is Thailand, Shamar is Jordan, Spagonia is France and Italy, Chunnan is China, Holoska is Alaska. I've talked about the boost and the continents, now let's talk about the most controversial part of this game, the werehog. The werehog was a way to put combat into the high-speed adventure. In hindsight, it sounds horrible. Why would you put very long stages in a Sonic game? But the thing is, these stages are actually really good. There is a level system in this game, and while you can level up Daytime Sonic, it's mostly just for the werehog. The werehog being a part of the game, basically kinda morphs a part of the game into an RPG. There are a lot of werehog moves in this game, due to there being so many, it's hard to remember a lot of them. You'll probably only remember the basic moves. The werehog is way slower than base Sonic, so you gotta run everywhere. The werehog stages have very peaceful music compared to the boost stages. The thing is, there is a battle theme that interrupts the stage music. You barely hear any of the stage theme before you get hit with the jazz. These stages are decently difficult. When you've fully leveled up the werehog, which is a long and tedious process, you can blast through these stages. Having the fully leveled up werehog makes the stages so much more fun when you're not getting hit every other second. Now that we've gone through the werehog bit, let's talk about the hub worlds. Sonic Unleashed has a hub world for each of the continents. They each have something interesting to explore. You can perform exorcisms for the people being controlled by Dark Gaia. You can do hot dog missions, which are living nightmare. The name of the missions may lead you to believe that it's fun, but it's not. The challenges that they make you do are easy, at first. The challenges get progressively harder as you get through the stages. The hardest of the hot dog missions is in Eggman Land. I think you can figure out why. You can find someone their soulmate by harassing their soulmate. Sonic Unleashed supports harassment. You can buy items and food for your journey. Eating food gives you EXP. There's a traveling salesman named Wenduz. Wenduz can give you some items also, he sells more rare items. There are also town missions where you go through a short section of a stage, but this time with an objective. Something a lot of people don't know about are the extra acts. There's typically around 4 secret acts on each continent. 2 for daytime, 2 for the werehog. These secret acts are way more difficult than the main acts of the stages. This game is obviously not a masterpiece, but it is close. I have so many memories of playing this game. Whenever I play this game, I just feel happy the whole time. Sure, the game has its downsides, but there aren't a lot. This game is an amazing showcase of how good Sonic games can be. While I do prefer this over Generations, I do think Generations has the best drifting. I'm sorry, but the drifting in Unleashed is dog-ducky. Well, with that being said, see you next time.